Every day, across the developed world, hundreds of millions of children are sent to a place they are legally compelled to attend. They are segregated by age, confined to a single room for hours, and made to listen passively to a state-approved curriculum. Their movements are controlled by the ringing of bells. We call this education, but what if this system was never designed to educate you? What if its primary purpose was not to foster your individual curiosity or critical thinking, but to do something else entirely? What if it was designed to break you? To understand the modern school, you must understand that it is not a product of enlightened pedagogy. It is a direct import, a piece of 19th century social engineering technology designed by the Kingdom of Prussia for a single, explicit purpose: to create a nation of obedient soldiers and compliant factory workers. In 1806, the formidable Prussian army was utterly annihilated by Napoleon's forces. The Prussian elite, in a state of profound shock and humiliation, concluded that their defeat was not merely military, but systemic. Their population was a loose collection of subjects, not a unified, nationalistic fighting force. Their solution was radical. They would re-engineer the very soul of their people, starting with the children. They needed to transform their population into a standardized, predictable, and utterly loyal human resource pool. The tool for this transformation would be a new system of mandatory state schooling, the Volksschule. The goal was not to create free thinkers. The goal was to subordinate the development of the individual to the strategic needs of the state. The Prussian system was a masterpiece of managerial logic, built on several key innovations designed to install obedience as a neurological reflex. First, compulsory attendance. The state, not the family, became the primary authority over a child's education. This ensured universal access to the state's ideological programming. Second, age-based segregation. Children were grouped by age, not ability. This was an administrative masterstroke, allowing for the delivery of a standardized curriculum to large, manageable batches of students, like products on an assembly line. Third, a standardized curriculum. The state, not the local community or the individual teacher, determined what was taught. This ensured every citizen would share a common knowledge base, a common set of values, and a fierce, unquestioning loyalty to the Prussian state. Fourth, time segmentation. The school day was fragmented into discrete blocks of time, punctuated by the ringing of bells. This conditioned students to shift their focus based on external, authoritative cues, not their own internal interests. It was the perfect training for the disciplined life of the factory floor or the military barracks. And lastly, state-certified teachers. Teachers became functionaries of the state, trained in state-run seminaries on how to deliver the curriculum and maintain discipline. They were the foremen in the new factory for souls. The Prussian model's success in creating a powerful, unified, and industrialized German state did not go unnoticed. In the mid-19th century, American industrialists and politicians, seeking to manage the new waves of immigrants and create a compliant workforce for their burgeoning factories, saw the Prussian system as a perfect solution. Influential reformers like Horace Mann traveled to Prussia, studied the system, and promoted it with religious fervor back in the United States. In the 1850s, Massachusetts became the first state to pass a compulsory attendance law, and the Prussian model rapidly became the blueprint for the entire American public school system. The factory for soldiers had been successfully repurposed into a factory for factory workers. However, the world has changed, while the factory has not. The system you grew up in, for all its superficial modernizations, still runs on the same 19th century Prussian operating system. Its legacy is the modern mind itself. It has conditioned us to believe that learning is a passive activity, that knowledge is a static body of facts to be received from an authority figure. It has trained us to obey the clock, to value compliance over creativity, and to seek validation from external institutions rather than from our own sovereign intellect. It pathologizes those who cannot conform to its rigid structure, the children who cannot sit still, who question authority, who are bored by the monotonous curriculum. These are not children with disorders, they are sovereign minds rejecting their own indoctrination. The true crisis in modern education is not a lack of funding or a debate over curriculum. The crisis is the school itself. It is a relic of a bygone era, a managerial machine designed for social control that continues to process the souls of our children, stamping them into a standardized, compliant, and spiritually impoverished mold. You were not educated. You were conditioned. Your diploma is not a mark of knowledge. It is a certificate of compliance.